Got bananas? Got them skills? Are you ready? Yes? Then it's time to get Donkey Kong's bananas back, before they rot or get eaten by the mighty King K. Rool, along with the critters and other foes scattered across the island. So strap yourself in, invite Diddy Titty, and go on an adventure like never before, for 1994.
Warning, this video may contain too much bias or criticism, as I really love this titty-rockin' game.
Donkey Kong Country is your typical 2D platformer, where running to the right, jumping on, or avoiding enemies is the name of the game. There are things to collect, like Kong letters, animal tokens, and lives. Trust me, you'll need those lives, which are in the form of balloons. Or you can exploit the game. You're welcome, the internet rules. The game has some pretty nice controls. Jumping has weight and a tad bit of float. This gives Donkey Kong Country its own feel. Jumping on enemies is bouncy, encouraging to chain jumps. It's well done. Donkey and Diddy Kong practically play the same. Donkey Kong has more weight to his jumps, his hitbox is bigger, he also has a greater throwing arc when throwing barrels. Donkey Kong can also take out brute enemies by jumping on them, aka the normal way. Diddy Kong is more agile and jumps a tad bit higher. He also moves quicker than Donkey Kong. Diddy's throwing arc is lower and of shorter distance. Diddy also cannot take out bigger enemies the normal way. He can only do so by throwing barrels. Both characters can also roll, though this move normally gets me killed. Since they have slight differences, it's best to keep both Kongs alive. The gameplay can be pretty deep. The game also rewards skill. I don't play fancy. My tactic? Hold the run button down, make confident jumps, and hold barrels. Holding barrels is like a shield and a third hit point, as I like to brute force my way through the game. The only gameplay aspect that's jank is hit detection. It's mostly precise, but other times it's dank janky, like Super Mario Land. The enemies in Donkey Kong Country are varied and basic. They all have a distinct evil look, they just walk around back and forth though. Enemies also jump around, chomp at you, shoot at you, fly at you. They are just obstacles to traverse around in the levels. On a side note, this claptrap can jump and chomp at you. Yippee! To make gameplay more varied, Donkey and Diddy have access to animal buddies. They aid the Kongs in the adventure. There's Rambi, who runs faster and rams enemies. On Guard, who makes swimming easy and can jab enemies. Then there's Winky.
My lord and savior in this game.
Seriously, Winky is so overpowered with those hops. He can even stomp any enemy, making levels easier. There's Squawks, who is in charge of a flashlight. He also shines it in the player's face when you turn in the opposite direction.
Get that damn light out of here!
Finally, we have Espresso, who runs faster and goodbye. The animal buddies are not used often enough, which is sad, except Squawks. He needs to be out of here, for real. Anyway, the animal buddies bring some variety to the levels, which is a good thing. The levels in Donkey Kong Country are well designed. The player is tasked to be precise and not be sloppy while playing the game. This is a good thing, of course. As the game progresses, the game ramps up the difficulty. By the end, your ass is going to get clapped a few times. So stock up on lives, visit Candy often, and play with skill. Also, keeping both Kongs alive is a must. Many levels have new enemies and gimmicks to face. A lot of the ideas presented are fun and interesting. The swimming levels are good at bringing about this variety. They break up the pace and can be calming. The controls are floaty, which can lead to death when not careful. The only water level I didn't like was Poison Pond. Too many obstacles, and the frickin' squidges, bruh! Croctopus Chase is good, but newer players might have trouble with this level. This level requires memorization of the level's layout, all the while getting chased by the many croctopuses scattered about. Levels like Stop and Go Station and Loopy Lights require speed. You must flip barrel switches, platform as quickly as possible to get to the next switch. It's quite thrilling and offers a nice challenge to the players. Tanked Up Trouble is like these levels. Instead of moving quickly, the player is guided along the platform. You must collect fuel for the platform or else you will die. It's a challenging level for sure, but pretty fun nonetheless. Minecart sections spice things up. The player must avoid upcoming obstacles and timing jumps accordingly. These levels can be problematic for new players though, mainly due to the memorization aspect of these levels. The second minecart level always throws me off due to the Kongs jumping out of the cart opposed to with it. Once you come to terms with it, it's pretty alright. Slip slide ride is tough, but pretty well done. The ropes either ascend or descend the Kongs and is well utilized. So yeah, a majority of the levels are well done, but there's some frustrating ones. Snow Barrel Blast, or any level involving barrels as the main hook. The timing is pretty hard to nail down, even when you play this game often. If you time it wrong, you'll blast out and die, or might not. It's hard telling what's acceptable to the algorithm of timing in these sections. Just don't fuck up. I don't like Ice Age Alley. It's not that fun. It's hard to tell what obstacles are ahead, and sometimes knowing where you're going to land is hard. It's trial and error. My most hated level is Platform Peril.
Jesus fucking Christ, this level.
The first half of the level isn't too bad, the game easing you in and all. After that, it's boom, chucking barrels at brutes to access platforms. Just keep both Kongs alive, trial and error is key. Memorize the level. It is the last level before the last two bosses, so yeah. The bosses in Donkey Kong Country are a pushover. They shouldn't be worthy of hoarding the damn bananas, if I'm being honest. Very Naughty just jumps around until defeated. Necky shoots nuts on either side of the screen. You just jump on its head until defeated. Queen Bee is one of the only engaging bosses in the entire game. Throw a barrel at her, dodge her attacks when she's invulnerable. Throw another barrel until defeated. It's swell. Really Naughty is just very naughty, but jumps higher. Whoa! Dumb Drum isn't a boss. Dodge the barrel itself, take out the waves of enemies. Very enticing. Necky Sr. is just Necky, but shoots more nuts! And is purple. Yeah. King K. Rool is a great and challenging boss, a great way to end the game. The boss takes a lot of damage, it gets pretty tense. The music is also perfect. Good stuff. Now let's talk graphics. For the Super Nintendo, they are great. The colors pop off the screen, foreground objects are easy to see. I do feel the graphical quality drops off towards the end of the game. Levels found in Congo Jungle, Monkey Mines, and Vine Valley look amazing. Once you get to Gorilla Glacier, things get dulled out and bleh. The exception being Slip Slide Ride and Rope Bridge Rumble. Levels found in Crimcroc Industries and Chimp Caverns are not as detailed and kinda dull. The quality shifts back up when you get to Gangplank Galleon. It's that level for the final boss. It better look spectacular. Overall, the locations are varied, and the adventure feels like a true adventure. The characters are well animated, except jumping enemies. Characters also have expressive qualities, which is a nice touch. The music, my viewers, is pretty freaking awesome. It can be strong and dynamic, melodic, and pretty minimal. The music fits all the levels well and gives off atmosphere. Sound effects are pretty good. Ooh, them claps. All in all, Donkey Kong Country is a great platforming game, despite its age. There are things I didn't mention because I truly feel that you, the player, should give it a spin. It's good in my eyes. The gameplay is well thought out, fun, and varied. The length is not bad. Took me a little over 2 hours. More so if you want to experience everything the game has to offer. So if you're a fan of 2D platformers, love bananas and monkeys, then this game is for you. It's a solid experience. Finn. Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, oh. Let me make sure this is recording. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Slip slide, slip slide, slip slide. So yeah, a majority of, oh my god. So yeah, fucking god damn. There's 2 animal buddies. To make gameplay more varied, Donkey and Diddy have access to animal buddies. They aid the Kongs in the adventure. There's Rambi, where fucking the fuck. They all it's like I'm drunk or something. The enemies in Donkey Kong Country are varied and basic. The enemies in Donkey Kong Country are basic and varied and varied and basic. Varied and basic and basic and varied. Varied and basic and distinct. They have an evil look. They just walk around back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, 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 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, forth, forth. Side note, on a side note,